Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your weekly general tarot scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings, or these readings should I say, are for everybody. It's a general overview of the energy, trends and themes that we're likely to be experiencing as a collective, and sometimes they speak to us personally, sometimes they speak to us globally. So I truly hope that you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for the message, the intuitive message this week was an interesting one. What I actually saw was like an urn, so kind of like a fancy way of saying jug basically, and it was a really gorgeous silver jug. And it was really weird. It was like I was poured into the jug and expected to wait there for a moment where I would be called upon to do something, right? So just like water, basically. And the message that I got from it was be ready to be called on. So whatever that means to you, in some way, shape or form, over the course of this week, somebody is likely to ask for your help, maybe for some assistance, maybe for your opinion on something, whatever it is. In some way, shape or form, you will be called upon this week. So if you feel like you're waiting for something, if you get that feeling, and I know a lot of people have had this recently, and I think this week we're really going to feel it heightened, that, you know, that moment where like you know you're waiting for something, but you just don't know what. You can't necessarily put your finger on it. So it's like that question mark of, okay, well, I know something's happening, I know something's going on, but I don't really know what. That feeling that you have, that sense of expectation and anticipation that you have, is because you know you're about to be called upon for whatever your expertise is. Yes, absolutely. But also for the human element and energy that you will bring to whatever it is that you do or touch or are a part of, right? So with that said, if you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to check out your weekly and monthly tarot scopes as well, and you know, all the other stuff that I do too. All right, with that said, let's get into it. For the destiny card for the week, ooh, we got a jumper. The destiny card for the week ahead is the strength card, right? So this actually kind of fits with the message really well. I get the sense that whatever it is that we're called upon to do this week, it's going to take courage. It's going to take guts, right? It's going to take you to do something that you've never done before, to maybe go out on a limb that you've never tread before, to maybe tread a path that is going to require you to tame that wildest of creatures, your heart, and so therefore your emotions. This isn't about not having any fear. It's about pushing beyond that fear and saying, I choose to, because I can choose, because I have the ability to do that. And through whatever you may perceive to be out there, all things are possible, right? This week, the destiny card kind of backs up this message. So at a moment this week where you are called upon and you think, okay, I'm not sure I'm up to this task, or maybe somebody's asking something of you that you're not sure you can fulfill, remember this strength card. You have more than enough within you to fulfill what you're being asked, and so much more. Give yourself not only more credit, but give yourself more love as well. So how do we utilize this strength card, right? It's all well and good me saying, yeah, just be brave, get out there and do something with it. All right, let's put some context to this. Let's flesh it out and see how might we do that. With the High Priestess, so truly by trusting your intuition, absolutely, being open to what your physical body talks to you about. Now, for those of you that know, I not too long ago put a post out on the community tab of my channel to talk about a very personal experience to me that I had in the last job that I ever worked. And the reason I did that, a lot of you have said, you know, Raf, we love you, but we want to know more about you. And I know a lot of people are going through some really crazy shit at the moment because the world itself is, you know, going nuts. So I'm slowly but surely starting to introduce more of who I am, more of what I'm about, more of what I've been through, and what's led me up to this path with people. And the High Priestess coupled with the Strength card aside from being, wonderful beings that have multifaceted personalities and all the rest of it, we are mammals. Your body, your physical self is going to react when it doesn't trust someone, when it knows it's not safe, all of these things. And so when they come up, I want you to pay attention this week. And it's not always for the negative stuff. Sometimes your intuition will tell you, or try to tell you, that actually something wonderful is coming and you need to be in the right mode or the right receptive mode to accept it. I'll give you a really good example. Let's say your relationship history is absolute bollocks and you've had a really tough time of it, and so you just think, you know what, I'm never going to date again. I just don't want to do it. It's too painful. It's too risky. And suddenly somebody shows up in your world that is truly intent on being with you and being a good partner. And because of your hurt, your fear, your trauma, all the rest of it, you push them away. Well, what if your body or your intuition is actually trying to highlight that to you, that actually this is the person that's going to give you the experience of relationships that you know you deeply deserve? So pay attention to your physical body this week. That's one way that we can inhabit this energy of the Strength card, and also pay homage and honor the High Priestess, who I have to say has my heart because I won't go into it. And then we've got the Moon card, right? Now, Moon card coupled with the High Priestess, look at that. That's a lot of water. So expect everybody to be in their feels this week. And one of the things that's really evident about this, is funny, isn't it? Because I mentioned the water in the jug. So good to see we still got it. One of the things that I will say to you with this pairing as well is, yes, there's a lot of water here. Very likely to see a lot of people in their feels. I do feel like on the wider world stage, we're likely to see something that specifically affects women, that we are going to be, quite frankly, possibly in fucking raged about. And there's a few things at this moment in time. I won't go on my soapbox rant, but you get the point. Now, with the Moon card, how do you utilize the Moon card? What can you do with the Moon card to utilize the Strength card? Well, the Moon card is about fear. It's about confusion, anxiety, but it's also about not seeing things clearly and finding a way to remove the rose-tinted glasses. This is in a lot of ways about remembering your past accurately, remembering people accurately, so that if somebody comes back from your past this week, they don't have the ability to off-foot you. Why? Because you're already in your own power and you're more than aware on that physical level. Your body, your intuition has spoken to you about what is coming up. Remember as well, in some way, shape or form, both of these cards represent the Moon, because the High Priestess is Cancer ruled. She even has the Moon at her feet there, right? So, and then finally we have the Three of Pentacles. So threes, interestingly enough, and in general, tend to bring past, present and future into one, right? And so this week you're going to have to be really selective. One of the best ways that you can utilize the energy of this Strength card, find out or do the work of processing your past so that you can take the gems of wisdom, the knowledge, the information, bring them and apply them to your present so that you can secure your own future. If you, and that's the process there, quite frankly, right? Now, the other thing with the Three of Pentacles, because it's next to the Moon card, this could be some retroactive knowledge that comes in. So you could get a piece of information this week that comes in and it's like, well, fuck me. In hindsight, that has completely blown my mind. This could be something that was hidden from you once upon a time, for any number of reasons. It's not always because of surreptitious. Sometimes it's, rare, but sometimes people hide things from us because they think that they're protecting us. There's a piece of information that you're going to learn this week that will make something click, something in your past that maybe you've always wondered and thought, I never really got to the bottom of that. But you'll get a piece of information this week that will just go clink. And your brain, I really just get this sense that it's going to open up not only your brain, but it's going to open up your heart. There's going to be some part of all of us this week where we turn around and say, wow, you know what? just knowing that piece of information helps me see it in a completely different way, and quite possibly helps me free myself from the trappings of what that stuck, blocked, hurt, vulnerable, painful, or whatever information or emotion actually was, right? So very, very interesting for sure. So hopefully it makes sense on how you can use the strength card. All right, so let's have a look at the insight cards. What is coming in? What might we need to be aware of? Okay, so we've got another jumper. They're all over the place today. All right, so we've got the Queen of Cups. So a Pisces woman, a Pisces or a Cancerian woman could feature for all of us in some way, shape or form. This card also excuse me, this card also this card can also represent an important mother or an important feminine or womanly figure in our lives in some way, shape or form. Can just as easily represent the mother, and because we've got this link to the strength card and the heart, therefore I would wager that this is somebody that's actually quite important to you, is going to give you some information or some advice this week that will really make the difference. You've got this with the Hermit card and with the Tower card, right? So you've got two options this week. With the information that comes in, with that tidbit of information, you can take it on board, disappear into your hermit shell and say, right, I'm going to go on a self-destruct. Or you can take that piece of information and say, okay, now that I have this piece of wisdom, I can build something better from whatever is left, right? The Tower card coupled with the Hermit card, I mean, that, if I'm honest as well, especially with the Queen of Cups, that could be news of a well-loved public woman whose health is not doing well. I feel like we're going to hear that relatively soon anyway. That's, you know, one way of seeing this. And like I said, in terms of the insight, what we might need to know, you're going to have two options this week, right? And when you are called upon, it may be by somebody who you thought, you know what, I can forget, but I can't forgive you. I just have to let it be. Like, in some way, shape or form, your own healing or cleansing is in your own hands this week. And you're going to have to be really, really honest with yourself to say, you know what, I either can or I can't let this go. And you know what, because it's funny as well that this is coming up, because for me personally, like, even if I knew this person had done me a wrong, I would say, you know what, I will help you just because I will help you, because that's who I happen to be. But I don't have to like it. Right? And that's one way to get through it this week. I think it's going to be an interesting week all round though. There's so much that I could say about that last triplet, but I'm going to leave it for now. With that said, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. And remember, when you are called upon the strength card, you have already everything that you need to make this work, right? Don't for a second doubt yourself. Feel the fear, absolutely. That's always going to be a part of everything that we do that's new, that's scary, that's different, that's outside of our comfort zone, right? Feel it, right? And feel it for real, you know? Don't play around with it on the surface level. Like, get the fuck into it, feel what you feel, own it, and do it anyway, all right? With that said, I wish you all of the best. Take care, and I'll see you soon.